Good afternoon. Thank you so much for joining us in today's session of Mastering LinkedIn. My name is Vilma Barahona, and I am an employment coach here at MCAF. We're just going to wait 5 more minutes before we get started to see if anyone else joins. Okay, perfect. So we're going to get started for today's session. Our session today is Mastering LinkedIn, and this session is presented by MCAF Employment Services. So first of all, we acknowledge that we are meeting on the traditional unceded territory of the Wolastoqiyik, whose ancestor, along with the Mi'kmaq and Passamaquoddy nations, signed friendship and peace treaties with the British Crown in the 1700s. So what are we going to cover this session? We're going to cover what is LinkedIn. We're going to cover specifically LinkedIn in Canada, the benefits of using LinkedIn, this platform. What can you do when you have a LinkedIn account? We're going to see certain examples on appropriate ways to reaching out to someone through LinkedIn. And we're going to learn how to display your skills on LinkedIn, how to remain active on the platform, what to avoid on LinkedIn, and important information to keep in mind. Then at the end, we're going to have a question section. If you have any questions, though, in the middle of the presentation, just go ahead and interrupt me. I do not mind. So we're just going to get started then. So what is LinkedIn? Well, LinkedIn is a network specifically oriented to connect with other professionals. The platform is used by many people around the globe, and it is estimated that it counts with more than 500 million members. It is present in over 200 countries, and it has been, translated into 20 different languages. Something really important is that the percentage of recruiters that screen candidates through LinkedIn is 94%. So it's a very high percentage. That means that HR managers and recruiters go to this platform and they search for candidates, and they just, take a look at their experience on the LinkedIn platform, and they screen candidates this way. So LinkedIn in Canada is also very important. There were 17,430,000 LinkedIn users in Canada as of June 2020. This percentage itself accounts for 45.5% of the Canadian population, so it's a very high percentage. People aged between the 25 years and 34 years were the largest users groups here in Canada. So it is known that Canadians check LinkedIn at least twice per week. And it is also known that approximately 46% of people earning between 100K and 250K use LinkedIn. I personally use LinkedIn almost every day. So I try to check the platform. I try to check what my connections have shared. I try to check, different information that you can find on the platform. So I'm pretty much always checking the platform once per day, but the average is twice per week. So now that we know how important LinkedIn is in the world and also in Canada, what are some of the benefits of joining this platform? So number one, it allows you to become visible to other hiring managers and recruiters. As we said before, 94% of HR managers and recruiters screen candidates through this platform. So it's, a way for you to become visible for any HR recruiters that are out there trying to fill up job positions. Then number two, it allows you to demonstrate your knowledge, training, and experience. And this is something highly beneficial because it allows you to share a little bit more of your knowledge, training, and experience that you were unable to share on your resume. So this is great. Number three, it allows us, to use this platform as a research tool. This platform allows you to research different professionals in the field, allows you to research and learn more about companies. It allows you to research possible job postings. So it's an amazing platform to do this kind of research. And number four, so I mentioned before, you have access to LinkedIn's job board, which is something really useful. Number five, you have the opportunity to be endorsed and recommended by others. So people you previously worked with or are currently working with are able to endorse you and recommend you through LinkedIn. So this is something great because in your LinkedIn profile, it's going to show that you have, a recommendation from someone that you worked with. It's going to show that someone is endorsing your skills, which is something amazing. Number six, you're going to have the opportunity to learn more about companies you want to work with. Using LinkedIn, you can search up more about those companies. You can even search up the people that work for that company. So it's something really useful if you want to learn more about this company before, applying to work with them. Number 7, you are able to get involved in groups within the platform. So the platform itself has different groups. They're, different kind of groups. It can be groups for different industries, groups for different interests. So they have like a bunch of groups that you can join through the platform. Number 8 is establish and maintain connections. So LinkedIn allows you to establish connections with the other professionals in your field. It also allows you to maintain those connections that are really important in the long term. So we saw how important LinkedIn was in the world, Canada. We saw some of the benefits of joining LinkedIn. So now we're just going to take a look on how to reach out to someone on LinkedIn. What if you created your LinkedIn account and you're really interested in reaching out to someone that you either met at a networking event or you have not met in person, but you really admire, or you want to reach out to an HR manager or recruiter. So we're just going to take a look right now at what are the steps and how to reach out properly to that person. So number 1 is introduce yourself. Introduce a brief, introduction of 1 to 2 lines on who you are and what you do. Number 2, mention how you found their profile. So whether you met them at a networking event or you have not met them in person and you were just researching for professionals in that field, let them know how you came across their profile. And I think this is something very important. Number 3, which I think it's one of the most important things to always follow when you're trying to reach out to someone on LinkedIn, connect with them on something you have in common. So connect on common grounds such as shared interests, groups, academic institutions, mutual connections, or employers. Number 4, be clear on your intentions. You can tell them about your particular situation, how you're looking forward to learn more about the company that you're working, and how you're looking forward to learn more about the field that you're working in. So now that we have seen the ways in which we can reach out to someone using LinkedIn, this is an example on how you can reach out to someone you met on a networking event. So this is just a sample. You can modify it. You can, add things or remove things depending on your situation. But you could use the following sample template. So you could start by saying, "Dear," using their first and last name. "It was great speaking to you at the," and then you're going to mention the name of the event in the city that the event occurred last week. "I really enjoyed our conversation on our interest in," then you're going to pick up a related topic or something you have in common with that person, "and how you got into," and then you're going to mention the profession or the industry in which they work in. "I'll definitely like to stay up to date on your career. Thank you." And then you're going to sign out with your first and your last name. So this was a very clear, concise message. You let them know how you came across their profile. You let them know that you have something in common and what is your kind of like your end goal. Why are you trying to connect with them? So this is something really clear. Now we're going to take a look at the case of trying to reach out to someone that you have not met in person, but you really admire this person's work. So you could use the following template. You're going to start with, "Hi, your first and last name. I've been following the work you've been doing for," and then you're going to mention the company name over here, "in the last few months. And I am very impressed with the results achieved in such a short time. I would love to chat more and learn how you got the opportunity to work on such a project. Best," and you're going to sign off with your first and last name. So this example is pretty similar to the last example. You just introduce yourself, you pick up a common ground, something, a common interest, and then you just let them know what's your intention. Now, for a recruiter or HR professional, it would be a little bit different the way that you would reach out to them. So this is a template that you could use if you're trying to reach out or connect with a recruiter or HR professional. So you can start by, dear first and last name. I found your profile on, and then you're going to mention the source where you found their profile. I am, you're going to mention what's your role or your profession, new to Canada with your number of years of experience here, and currently seeking new opportunities. I'd love to chat about whether my background might be a fit for any of your openings. Best, you're going to sign off with your first and last name. So this is the only time that we recommend, reaching out through LinkedIn and asking for a possible job position. We only recommend this to do it with HR managers or HR recruiters because they have access to those job postings. We do not recommend that you try to reach out to someone asking for a job that are not an HR manager or recruiter. Now, for someone you share a LinkedIn connection with, you can reach out the following way. So, hi, first and last name. I noticed we are both connected to, and you're going to mention here the mutual connection name and title. Mutual connection name, and I collaborated on a project, and she spoke highly of you. I'd love to add you to my professional network so we can support each other. Looking forward to connecting. And then you're going to sign off with your first and last name. Now, for someone you have something in common with, something in common might be you have the same interest, you work for the same organization, you have the same, you graduated from the same university, or you're from the same country. You could reach out to this person using this template. So you're going to start by dear first name and last name. I am also in the, and then you're going to mention the group name or common interest name. And I've really enjoyed reading your post. The piece you shared about, and you're going to share here what is the topic or subject that they were discussing, was pretty thought-provoking. I'd love to keep in touch and learn more about your work. And then you're going to sign off with best, and then you're going to use your first and last name. So now that we have seen the different ways that you can reach out to someone on LinkedIn, we're just going to learn more how to display your skills on LinkedIn. I just want to leave something, clarify something very important. These templates, you can use them when you have already connected with that person or when you're trying to connect with that person and you're sending a personalized connection request. So now that we have learned that, we're going to learn now how to display your skills on LinkedIn. So LinkedIn is a great platform because it allows you to do different things, connect with other professionals like you in your field, learn more about jobs postings, learn more about companies and the people that work there. But it allows you also to take a skill assessment quiz. And according to data, people that have verified their skills have around 30% more chances of getting hired for the positions they apply for. Because, this quizzes that LinkedIn basically offers an endorsement from LinkedIn. They are basically endorsing you in those skills. The skill assessment quizzes can be used to verify your skills in different areas such as Adobe Acrobat, Adobe Illustrations, Adobe Photoshop, Microsoft Word, Microsoft PowerPoint, cybersecurity, IT operations, and many, many more areas. I would definitely recommend everyone here in this session today to take a look at these areas that they offer. You take in a skill assessment quiz, and if you feel comfortable and if you really want to get your skills endorsed by LinkedIn, we can say you can definitely do so because it is highly beneficial. And as it says over here, people that have they take a skill assessment quiz have 30% more chances to get hired. So if you do decide to take a skill assessment quiz, there are certain things to keep in mind before you do so. The skill assessment quiz consists of 15 questions, and for each question, you have 1 minute and 30 seconds to answer. In order to pass and earn a badge or an endorsement for the skills, you have to score in the top 30% of the people that took that assessment. If you're unable to pass, this is something very important. You will have to wait 6 months to take the quiz again. So just do this quiz whenever you feel actually ready to, you know, do this assessment. If you feel like you don't have enough knowledge yet, do not do it, because if you do it and then you don't pass, you would have to wait 6 months. If you do not pass, though, it's not the end of the world. You can try again in 6 months. And in the meantime, LinkedIn will offer you the opportunity to practice the skills by taking free courses. So now, how to get an endorsement on your skills on LinkedIn. Other than doing the assessment quizzes for your skills, you can also ask people that you have previously worked with to give you an endorsement. So receiving an endorsement on LinkedIn from a current or former colleague can be something beneficial for you. And the current or former colleague have the opportunity to endorse the skills that you present on your profile. So there are 4 things that I always recommend keeping in mind before you ask for an endorsement from a current or former colleague. Number 1, do you actually know the person you're going to ask an endorsement from? Have you actually worked with this person for a kind of like a long time for them to honestly endorse you in that skill? Number 2, if it is a former colleague, did you leave in good terms? This is something very important to analyze and always take into consideration, because you don't want to give someone the opportunity to give you an endorsement. And let's say that this person you did not leave in good terms. The endorsement that they give you might not be a, honest reflection of those skills. So I always say, just take into consideration, step back, analyze that you leave this, work relationship in good terms. Number 3, could they certify that you possess at least one of the skills listed in your profile? So this is very similar to number 1, as to always keep in mind if you actually work with this person for an appropriate number, amount of time. And number 4, which I think is the most important of them all, always be polite and respectful when asking for an endorsement. Avoid asking for it using a hurried tone in the message. So remember that asking for an endorsement is basically asking for a favor. So you're asking this person for a favor if they can please endorse your skills on LinkedIn. You are not entitled, to just get them to give you the endorsement. It is completely up to them if they have time or if they are able to do so. And they're going to let you know if they're able to give you that endorsement. So now we're just going to take a look at a couple of examples on how to ask for an endorsement on LinkedIn. This is some templates that we put together, and this would be in the case of a current colleague. So you're going to start this way. Hello, using their first name. I enjoy working with you, and I appreciate all the support that you provide me with. I always value your insight and integrity. I just created myself a LinkedIn account, and I am trying to build up a strong profile. Could I trouble you for an endorsement? It would help to boost my profile. Thanks a lot, and you're going to sign off with your first name. So this, as you can see, this template was really respectful. You complimented them. You said that you really value their insight, and then you went straight to the point on why you were sending that message, and it was because you're trying to get an endorsement on your skills. So this was a great message. Now, in the case of a former colleague, it's different. And before you, try to ask for an endorsement from a former colleague, I always take into consideration if this person is still working for that company, because if they're not, you might need to just change a couple of things from this template. So asking an endorsement from a former colleague would start the following way. Hello, you're going to use their first name and last name. It's been a while since we connected. I hope things are great back at, and you're going to insert here the company name. and that the whole team is doing well. As you may have noticed, I am new to LinkedIn and I'm trying to build up my profile. Would you mind endorsing the skills I displayed at, and you're going to insert here the company name? It would be a great help. You're going to sign off with regards your first and last name. So this message, as the one before, was respectful, was concise, and you let them know why you were contacting them. So we have learned a lot during this session. We have learned the importance of LinkedIn, what are the benefits. We have learned how to reach out to someone on LinkedIn. We have also learned the importance of taking a skill assessment quiz, and we have also learned how to ask for an endorsement through LinkedIn. So now we're going to learn something extremely important, which is how to remain active on this platform. First and foremost, share content you feel passionate about. Try to post as much content as you can. The more content you post, the greater the chances are for your profile to become visible to others across LinkedIn. And this means that the greater the chances that you're going to increase your number of connections. Try to post content you know will resonate with people in your industry. Try to use the content you share to be a conversation starter with those in your network. And really important, be open to listen to what other people think about the topic. Even if they share a different opinion to you, be open to always listen to their opinion and be respectful about it. So when posting content, try to keep it short. If you're unable to keep it short, try to make it easily digestible to the reader. So ways you can make the content easily digestible would be using bullet points or paragraph breaks. If possible, try to add an image to your post, as it will increase the chances of people just, stopping by your post and reading what you're trying to say. If adding an image is not possible, try to add an eye-catching title or first couple sentences, just so that you catch the attention of the reader. Try to use hashtags or polls to increase the engagement of your post. So also, always feel free to interact with other people's posts. Try to comment on the content that other people in your industry share. So try to share your opinion on what you think about the content they are sharing. By commenting, you're allowing yourself to express your opinion and your thought leadership. Commenting on other people's posts will allow you to raise your profile across LinkedIn, and this could allow you to increase your network. Always, 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 as I mentioned before, keep your comments professional and respectful. Your comments should be something you're happy for people to associate with you. So always keep that into consideration. When you're going to comment something, just think to yourself, is this something I'm happy for people to associate me with? Am I being respectful? Am I being professional? So just keep that always into consideration before you comment or you post anything to LinkedIn. Follow relevant people for your industry. So try to follow those who are relevant for your industry. The content that they share will allow you to keep up to date with your industry. The content that they share could also be shared with people in your network when you think it adds great value. Always keep in mind to reference the source you took the information from when sharing other people's content. So now that we learned so much about LinkedIn and so many things that you need to do using this platform, we're going to learn of a couple things that you should avoid doing on this platform. So number one, avoid using a photo that makes you look non-professional. You don't need to have a professional headshot or a professional photo taken. No, it's okay. But always, when you're trying to choose your profile picture in LinkedIn, just think if this picture makes you look professional. Using a photo that is not recent, also, we do not recommend that. So use a picture that you took most recently so that if someone meets you at a networking event, they're going to be able to recognize you. Number two, avoid having grammatical mistakes in your profile. This is really important. I always recommend you to triple check whenever you're going to post something on LinkedIn, just to make sure that there's no grammatical mistakes in it. Number 3, having multiple profiles. So this having multiple profiles is just something really confusing, especially for HR managers or HR recruiters that might be screening you as a candidate. And if you have like multiple profiles, they're not going to know which is like the profile that you're using at the moment and the most up to date. So number 4, trying to connect with someone more than once. So let's say that you try to connect with someone and this person rejects your connection request. I wouldn't recommend you trying to connect again. I would just leave it that way and try to focus on connecting with other people. Number 5, blurring the lines between the professional and personal. So always remember that LinkedIn is a professional network and you should only use it for professional, matters. Don't do post personal things over there. I have like known of examples that people are trying to sell houses in LinkedIn. So don't, because this is a professional network. Not providing a clear employment timeline. So what do we mean by this? So when you don't provide a clear employment timeline, it means that you have a start date at an employment and then you never have an end date, even though you are no longer working in that company. So always provide a start date and an end date for all of your employment experiences in your platform in LinkedIn. So next, not including a summary. So a summary is really important. A summary is a way for you to tell those people that check your profile a little bit more about yourself. In the summary, you could include what are your interests, what's your field, how many years of experience do you have, and if you're looking to what kind of opportunities. This one, the next one, not including your contact information. I think it's the most important thing you should always avoid on LinkedIn, because many HR managers and recruiters, they reach out to you sometimes through LinkedIn, and they require sometimes your contact information to be able to reach out to you if you don't answer the messages on LinkedIn. So this is something really important. Always try to include your contact information on the platform, just in case someone wants to reach out to you. I remember when I was younger, my first job out of university here in Canada was a job that I accepted since someone through LinkedIn, a recruiter, contacted me offering me a possible job opportunity. So I always think to myself that I am really thankful that I always check my LinkedIn messages and I was able to, see that this HR manager contacted me with this job opportunity. So just a reminder, that HR managers and recruiters, they're really, trying to recruit people through LinkedIn and contacting people through LinkedIn. So that is why you should always try to put your contact information, at least your email if you're not comfortable sharing your phone number, which is understandable. Next, not personalizing a connection request. So always try to personalize connection requests. You could always use some of the templates that we saw earlier, and that could be some of the message that you could add along a connection request. So using emojis in your name or summary. So this is something that we do not recommend. Remember, LinkedIn is a professional platform, so try to keep it as professional as possible. Next, complaining about a former employer. So LinkedIn is a, public platform, we can say. So everyone has access to see what you share, what you post, what you comment. So do not complain about former employers through the platform. That does not look good for maybe future employers and for, former employers too. It's not nice to see a former employee complaining about them on the platform. So just always keep that in your head, that this is a public platform and people see what you're sharing, what you post. Then the next one is sending spam messages to your connections. So avoid sending spam messages to your connections. Always think to yourself, is this message really necessary for this person to receive? What am I going to gain through this message? And just like think about that, because you always should avoid sending spam messages to your connections. So now that we discovered things not to do on the platform, I just want to kind of like at the end of this presentation, just put some important reminders about LinkedIn. So LinkedIn is greatly used in Canada and in the world, and the platform serves as a great tool for job search. When reaching out to someone, it is important to remain polite, graceful, and professional. This is really important. Do not lie or exaggerate your experience, education, skills. Your profile should be a reflection of you, who you truly are as a professional. Try to remain active in the platform by interacting with others and sharing posts. Share what you think, let your connections know what you think about the posts that they share. And when you do so, always remember to keep yourself respectful and professional. Your LinkedIn profile should be a summary of all you have achieved throughout your professional life. How I like to see my LinkedIn profile is an extension of my resume, because the resume needs to be maximum 2 pages, but in LinkedIn, you can share a little bit more about you as a professional. You can share more achievements that you cannot add to your resume. You could share more work experience that you were unable to add to your resume. So just feel free to share what you think is going to benefit you. LinkedIn should only be used for professional means. LinkedIn should not be used the same way that we use other social media platforms such as Twitter, Instagram, or Facebook. Remember always that this is a professional platform and you need to keep things always professional. LinkedIn allows you to demonstrate all your skills and your experience, as we previously saw. And just if you ever want to take a skill assessment quiz, do so. We saw that it is extremely beneficial. If you ever want to just ask your former colleague or your current colleague for an endorsement, do so, because it is also highly beneficial. So this is very important. Remain cautious of those who reach out to you on the platform. Oftentimes, you will have people reaching out to you, offering you to sell you something or to offering you a possible job employment, but do not feel pressured to reply to this kind of messages that seem like a scam. Avoid always, and not only on LinkedIn, but also in your professional life, you should always keep this in mind. Avoid sharing your personal information on LinkedIn or in any other like social media platform. Or if someone reaches out to you through email asking for your personal information and they're saying that they're going to offer you a job, because if you offer your personal information, always avoid this if you have not signed a contract or started employment with that company. So just keep really cautious on where you share your personal information, because it is really important for you to protect this personal information and only share it with the people that actually need access to it. Okay, so we have come to the end of this presentation. Just wanted to know if there's any questions or comments.
Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you.
Yeah, so I have only one question, and this is not actually a question. I like the template that you have shown us. So is it possible to share this template with us?
Yeah, so you're going to find the recording of this session on our YouTube channel. Over there, you're going to be able to see all the templates and the session itself. So we're going to upload this, this week. We're going to try to upload this recording of the session.
Okay, which YouTube channel? Actually, I didn't subscribe that channel. So,
Sure. It should be as MCAF Employment's YouTube. Are you subscribed with our Facebook?
probably.
Okay, so in our Facebook, we have our YouTube channel.
Okay.
Yep. And if I'll try to reach out to you through email too.
Okay, that will be very great.
Yeah.
Actually, the template is like really a saver of time.
Yeah, they're very useful for sure. So I'm just gonna put the email in the chat, my email, and just send me an email after the session is over, and I can send you our YouTube channel and our Facebook group.
Yeah, thanks.
You're welcome. Are there any other questions or comments?
Yes, I have a question.
Yes. Go
When
ahead.
you ask for endorsements from a former employer or current contact and you don't have any response, you recommend to try to contact this person again or not?
So if they have seen the message and they have not responded, I would avoid contacting them again. Sometimes how I try to see it is like an answer. No answer is an answer itself. If it's someone that you're close to and you know that sometimes they miss the messages and they don't read all the messages, I would contact them again, but only if it's someone that you have worked closely with.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome.
Jyotsna this side. This was really an informative session. Thank you so much.
You're welcome. So yeah, you're gonna find the recording of this information session in our YouTube channel, so you can watch it as many times as you want. I'm just going to show you now our sessions, employment sessions for the month of August. These employment sessions are extremely useful for your job search, and they provide high value to your job search. So today we shared the session of Mastering LinkedIn. This Friday, we have the session of Ask an Employment Coach. Next week, we have what it is, Canadian Workplace Standards and Safety, a very useful information session. And on Thursday of that same week, we're going to have a networking club. So this is how our August schedule of our sessions is looking like. I would invite you, as always, to join us during the sessions because you're going to get a lot of valuable information through them. So we're just going to take a look here, some of the reference we used for this presentation. So thank you so much for your time and for participating in the session. I'm happy, always to share this kind of information. And if you need any further employment related information, or if you have any other questions, you can always contact me at the following email. Okay.
Okay, thank you very much.
You're welcome.